Hello and welcome to group stage of the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer tournament between Boog2TheMan and Magooisadorable. I am Animus United, and I will be your lovely commentator today. We're about ready to get set up here. Going to have our runners both ready, and I'm going to get them started here just momentarily. So today's matchup's going to be a pretty good one, I believe. We're going to have two runners, one who's been very experienced in the Super Mario Bros. 3 randomizer tournaments in years past, and one that's a little bit new. I'm really looking forward to this matchup today. If anyone in chat would like to guess which world is going to be first, I'm going to guess World 4. That seems to be a good one. That tends to be the first one a lot. Hello, Temps. Warp World, that's a good guess. And we are off, and it looks like we are in World 5, and we have a beta level to start out with. There's actually 8 different beta levels you can see in the randomizer that are added on top of the regular levels, and this is just a pipe swimming level. It's probably the easiest level you'll see in randomizer, so it's a very nice touch to start out with. Boog was able to get a mushroom from the item that was there, so I'm sure that will help a lot. And that was a pretty easy level to start out with. So this is going to be an interesting setup. It looks like we got a fort to start out with at 6F1. And if this builds the bridge, this could come out to be an interesting choice between which pipe our runners will choose to go into Sky World. As in World 5, there's the bottom ground, which we are on right now, and then there is Sky World. So 6F1 has an item at the beginning, but there's also 3 items in the second room that you see goo in right now, which makes it very nice to maybe pick up a star to get an easy boom boom kill, or just pick up some fire if you can. Yeah, it looks like that last item is a star, so that we should be able to get 2 easy star kills here for boom boom. And there we have it. And it did build a bridge, so we'll see which way our runners choose. There could be a divergence of paths here. Magoo's deciding to take a death here. I think that's actually a very smart choice here. Yeah, because you go there, because you see there that the other pipe is actually the way to go. Boog is going to have to play an extra level, but that's not too bad. Probably something you're thinking about early on is, you know, conserving lives and such. Unfortunately, Magoo takes a death on the airship. We did get the warp, that's right, Gurn. So Boog is on 2-3-1, meanwhile Magoo is on the airship of World 5 here. Airships don't fly away in Rando. That's right, Blast. So in the Super Mario Bros. 3 randomizer, we turned off most of the auto-scrollers. This is usually an auto-scroller level, and so the airship does not fly away in Rando. Ooh, an unfortunate death there. That can be a tough Koopaling due to his ability to kind of jump high without the earthquake attack. That's usually an earthquake Koopaling, and unfortunately, or in randomizer, it seems to me that when you take away the earthquake, those Koopalings love to jump high, which can make the hitboxes very interesting. And just like that, Boog able to catch up with those 2 deaths. Oh, it is an earthquake. Well, that shows how much I was able to pay attention there. And there we go. After World 1, Boog2TheMan and Magoo are just within seconds here, so it looks like we got a nice close race here. Different paths, but same result here. So, Gurn, you're saying World 2. For the next world, I'm going to go with World 6. Why not? Let's make things interesting. And to reiterate, worlds 1 through 7 are randomized. World 8 will always be world 8. So we got world 1 here. Do we have a hammer here? Hammers can break locks. I'm guessing not. Both of our runners immediately opting to go this way. You do get a random item from Peach. I wasn't paying attention to what it was, though, so... Magoo going for an item there to get big. And Boog just racing his way to the end. Getting what we call a fanfare there, where it takes a little bit extra time to get extra lives. However, I don't think it's necessarily the worst time thing if you're a little bit worried about lives and such. And both of our runners smartly going to this fort, because this is the fort that will break that lock. As on the bottom. Well, an unfortunate death for Boog. That's a tough thwomp to get past as we enter Desert Fort. Meanwhile, Magoo's able to make his way to the top of the pipe. Wanna make his way through the door here. Yeah, this section right here can be a little bit tricky, especially if you have a hot shot, but it looks like we just got 2 dry bones in this area, so not too bad. We are off, so it looks like we have 2 levels and a required fort. And right here we just have 1-4, so this is a World 1 level, as usually an auto-scroller, but as I said before, most of the auto-scrollers are turned off, so this is a much shorter level than what we're used to. Yeah, the thwomp is definitely painful for sure. And so we are in Tournament Group 2 for the first race, and Group 2 no end card for the second race, so we do have the end card game present for this race. In the end card game, you'll see those tiles of mushroom and star. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get a mushroom or star. Those items have been randomized, so we could see clouds, hammers, anchors, you name it. You can get 1-ups. I don't think you can get a coin, but I know you can get 1-ups from the end card game. Boog has made his way to 1-4 as well. Meanwhile, Magoo has made his way to the Ice Fort of World 6. What's the red castle mean? There are red and blue castles that tend to pop up in Randomizer. It doesn't really mean anything, really. I'm not actually entirely sure why the different fort colors tend to pop up, but yeah, sometimes you'll see like red or a blue lock associated with these forts. And of course, every fort can build a bridge or break a lock. If we come across the World 1 fort, that's actually a special case where you know that that fort will not be required. So a lot of time, but it can be helpful for shortcut purposes, but a lot of times you're just not going to play it if you don't have to. So Magoo's able to get past the Ice Fort, Boog is in Ice Fort, and has made his way to the World 6 airship. Which is nice if you're able to have a P-Wing with how it is, but it'll definitely take fire as well. So just a quick 2-hitter, and we're on our way to World 2. Or sorry, World 3. Any guesses in chat of what we're going to see in World 3? It could be the aspect ratio of the stream, maybe not the cropping itself. Alright, so we made ourselves to World 7 at Craig SMB3. You guessed correctly. So, Magoo's gonna go ahead and play the first 4 he sees on stream. On the first screen, I should say. And it is the water fort that we see from World 3. The second room can be a little bit tricky with the ghost for first-timers. However, there is a consistent pattern of Magoo is displayed that makes it getting through easy on subsequent times. Meanwhile, Boog has made his way to the World 6 airship as well. There are warp whistles and randomizer, however, for the flag sets that you'll see in this tournament, we have turned off whistles, so there will not be any warp whistles that you will see. Oh, there are warp whistles in randomizer, it's just not too many people ever play with them. I personally think the next world warp whistles are very interesting, but I digress. Meanwhile, Magoo's making his way around World 7 and has come across the first plant level, which is not randomized. The 2 plant levels in Bowser's Castle are not randomized, as well as the World 5 height fort sort of deal, the spiral staircase. And yeah, that's can be a little bit tricky, so took a death there. These plant levels act like Hammer Brothers in World 7, so you'll see an item come from them. Meanwhile, Boog has made his way through World 7 as well. We'll see if he plays the fort or not. Does elects not to. And it's going to continue on. Looks like Magoo's game over there. It looks like, though, that might actually be the way that you have to go, so it looks like Magoo playing that fort at the beginning was the wise move. But we will see. So I think that's why Magoo was going back. Oh, and Boog picks up a hammer. Wow. And Magoo's going to skip that and not even play that. So that could be really huge, actually. Okay, so that fort goes to a mushroom house, so I didn't see that before. Can't blame Boog for going ahead and getting that item. I mean, if I see that, then I have to pipe back, might as well, for all my troubles, right? Oh, so it looks like Boog's gonna go a different way. Meanwhile, Magoo still hasn't found the final island yet. We'll see if this pipe takes him there. No, that's the troll fort. It looks like there's only one pipe to the end and a lot of levels to get there. Actually, it looks like you probably don't even have to play a fort here. Like, you can just go through, play these 2 levels, and get to the final one, so... See if this is, let's see what level this 9 tile is. And it is World 8, or is level 8-1, so this can be a little bit of a tricky one. Meanwhile, Magoo on the final island has come 6, 7, which is also normally an auto-scroller, but pretty straightforward level here. Got 2 more levels and the second plant level to go. Looks like this is not the beta level. This is the World 5 Sky level. I think it's 5-7. Either way, a pretty straightforward level as well. And there we have it. Looks like Boog, unfortunately, took a little bit of a death, but that's fine. World 8, level 8 and 1 is definitely a very tricky level to progress through. Meanwhile, Magoo has found 6-4. I actually hate this level due to the amount of lag you probably saw at the beginning of the level. And also, this fan right here loves to troll people. Alright, well, able to get through that, so that's good. Looks like Magoo's gonna go for the second plant level as well. Oh, it's another hammer, so that's intriguing. So Boog, if Boog could have 2 hammers at the end of this, but it looks like Magoo's gonna have a hammer here as well, so that's evens things up for now. Meanwhile, it looks like Morton's going to be taken care of. And away we go. So put your guesses into chat for what our next world is going to be. I'm going to guess... we'll go with World 6. Why not? I've got a feeling we're not in the Mushroom Kingdom anymore either. Those of you, Wizard of the Oz. Oh, look at that. See, that's... Your expert commentator has correctly guessed what the next world is. How about that? So it looks like we're going to level 6-5, which is a level in which you need to... That item right there is always going to be a leaf, so... very easy to grab that, so that way we can fly to the top. Normally in the regular game, you actually need to pick up that green shell in order to get to the top. However, in Randomizer, I'd say like 80% of the time, you really don't need the green shell. You can just, you know, use your tail and get to the end. Well, okay, yeah. Well, that is Koopa shell, so that did work out there. It looks like our in-car game is there. Meanwhile, Boog's still having a little bit of trouble with 8-1. Looks like we got some stars and mushrooms. Let's see if we know what these items are. It looks like we got a P-wing and a flower from them. And now we got 7F2 here to start out with. Meanwhile, Boog did take a game over. However, it looks like he's going to be playing this fort this time, so I think this is actually going to work out a little bit better for him, because that fort seemed to open up the lock, which took us closer to the end, so I think this is the better play. 7F2 going to be a little bit unforgiving at the beginning, since that first item is a 1-up. The second item is a mushroom, so that's good. Did the tournament have any qualifiers? No, we were, this tournament was open for all. We had 48 people in this tournament, so a very large tournament. Very active user base we have here, and we always love to welcome new players as well. And there have been several new players in this tournament as well, so always awesome to see new faces. Meanwhile, Magoo has found a cloud from the World 6 Hammer Brother, so that's pretty nice. Okay, so I'm going to use a I'm going to use the hammer here. We'll see if this goes a little bit further. No, unfortunately, not the best play here, it looks like, since it only went to that pipe, unfortunately. So, did skip a level, but I don't think that's what Magoo was looking for. So we found ourselves to 1-5. Meanwhile, Boog has made his way around World 7, looking for that final item pipe. Does the level number indicate anything? No, it does not. All the levels are randomized. So you're going to see levels from the main game and the main item pool, and then you're going to see all the fort levels shuffled in the forts. So hand level stages can also be inside of the pool of regular levels, as well as the first tank from World 8. That's correct, Blast. So why does the question mark icon sometimes come up? So that's a flag. That's one of the other flag sets that's in this tournament, which is all question marks. And the reason why that's chosen by some runners is in World 8, all the hand stages are going to be replaced with that. So you won't be pulled in, it'll just be a regular level. Alright, so meanwhile, Magoo has found 1F in World 6. That's a very interesting location. Not very often you see 1F in World 6, so you'll know that this isn't required to play. However, sometimes it can lead to shortcuts. I think it's just going to break that walk to the left is all this is going to do. For that particular flag set, yes. We'll see if that other fort's required. Looks like this pipe does go to the end. It might be required, though. Yeah, it is. So that pipe does skip a level, but alright, so it looks like we've made ourselves into 5F2 fort. A lot of lava everywhere, fireballs everywhere, so it can be kind of annoying for sure. Yeah, there is a secret level of 4F2, certainly. That's not very advisable for randomizer races, but it is a cool little secret for sure. So Magoo's going to be out of World 6, a very long World 6. Sometimes the pipes can give you a quick one, other times it's just going to be a long drag like that one was. On his way to the World 7 airship. Meanwhile, Boog2 has found another hammer, so he's got 2 hammers now. See if he's able to make good use of them. It looks like we're going to have Limby on the World 7 airship, which actually I think works out pretty good. You should be able to get a pretty easy fire kill here with how the fireballs seem to go through here. Fire and just a 2-hitter, so looks like fire killing didn't really matter there. And Magoo is off to World 5. Meanwhile, Boog has made his way out of World 7 into going to World 6. That's another good point, Niddy. You can also not use the numbered tiles to predict how many forts a world will have in advance. So, for instance, in World 6, if you see 2 610, you'll know that there are only 2 forts as opposed to 3 forts. So we see World 2. And oh, this is an annoying level to see. We got a cheap, and we have 7-9. Long drag here. Looks like with Fire Flower, though, this isn't going to be a huge deal. Meanwhile, Boog has made his way to 6-5 and is going to be flying up momentarily. I find those are ice blocks that they're grabbing right there. I find that a little bit tough to deal with sometimes. Just because I think it might have something to do with lag or something like that. It's the Japanese version ever used for randomizer. I don't believe it's compatible with the randomizer. As far as I'm aware. Looks like we're going back to the end card game. We'll see what items we're getting here. If we get any clouds or hammers, I don't think I've seen any yet. But we'll wait to see what we got from that end card game, as we're going to take a pipe to skip a lot of levels, and it looks like we just need a fort and another level, and we're out of World 2. With the upside down cheap and pipe, I think that's a graphical error. From what I yeah, I think it's a graphical error with too many sprites loaded on screen. I think it's a limitation of the Nintendo Entertainment System due to how the randomizer can be. I didn't catch where Boog found 7-1 because I didn't even see 7-1 on Magoo's side. Oh, so that wasn't the right fort, so yeah, Magoo's gonna have to go back and play this fort. That's interesting. Oh, I see. The other tile was 7-1 and 7F2, I see. Not entirely sure if 7F2 was actually useful. It might have broken a lock that we needed to get through, but we never saw, so we know it's not the lock at the end, that's for sure. There is a possibility it could have built a bridge at the end, so you never know for sure. It looks like we got an anchor as well. Let's see what this anchor is. Just a regular mushroom. Doesn't look like the end card game was producing any clouds or hammers, so the end card game might not be the move this time. Yeah, I'll try to keep it a little bit better updated. This is the 4th world for Boog2TheMan, and this is the 5th world for Magoo. Magoo has found 7-3, which can be a little bit tough as small. Yeah, that's an unfortunate death. I've definitely had that happen to me. Oh, Magoo does have a cloud too. Just gonna go ahead and use it. I can see, you know, some people might question that decision. I can sort of understand that decision. You might feel like you're behind or something after making a mistake like that, and you just want to go ahead and get out of the world. Plus, with the Hammer Brother right there, and you going ahead and defeating it, you know, if you accidentally die in this airship, you're not gonna have to play that level again. So kind of a safety cloud strat. And Boog able to make it out 7F2, nice. We'll see if he plays this, because that's a cloud that he's going to be able to get if he gets that. Meanwhile, Magoo able to grab the 1, and we're off to the 6th world. Looks like we have 2 worlds remaining. If you were keeping track at home, you'd know which 2 are left. I know World 3 is left. I can't remember what the other one that's left, so I'll go with World 3. And it is World 4, so that's the other world that we were missing. And that's a very obnoxious World 4, because it looks like we have a lock and a bridge that needs to be built. There could be 3 forts here. It looks like there might only be 2. You never know. Looks like Boog's a little bit lost in the beta level. This is a level that's not in SMB3, so it can be a little confusing for folks who have played SMB3 but just aren't familiar with a lot of the beta stages. Meanwhile, if you're able to get past 5-1, I might have done a check to the right to see if there's another fort there, but not a huge deal since you see 2 forts there. Made its way to 2-2. And that is a blooper there, just some sprite loading errors there. Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to, and smart to ride that elevator while you're avoiding all those obnoxious water enemies. Okay, Boog went ahead and hammered right there and skipped a level. That hammer play did turn out a little bit better than what Magoo was able to do with hammering that cloud, so why not, I guess, if you have 2. Meanwhile, Magoo is playing some more Hammer Brothers stages. And found another hammer. So looks like the Hammer Brothers are being nice today. We're getting all sorts of clouds and hammers from these guys. Well, it looks like we've come across 7F1. I will see if Magoo takes a death or if he's going to go through the Tanuki suit. Yeah, I'm going to take a death here. Because it has P-Wing, so just going to take a nice, easy way out. Oh, okay. I was wondering. Well, okay. So Magoo's gonna go up and find the pipe. Looked like Magoo was going for the button to go through the Tanuki suit room, so I was a little bit confused there, but yep, able to find the pipe there. And we'll see if this builds the bridge or breaks the lock. It would be an interesting decision here. I wonder if oh, and Boog just... Oh, look at that. Already on the 7 airship. I think it seemed like that was less time to me than Magoo in that, especially that later section. Able to use a hammer, I guess, to skip a fort there, so very nice play there. Meanwhile, yeah, Magoo did what I thought he might consider doing, which was hammer that lock there, avoid playing an extra fort. And, going to be off to World 7. And Boog's making his way to World 4, and Magoo's making his way to World 7. Well, I should say World 6 and World 7, how about that? It can be a little bit confusing to discuss this because when I say they're going to World 7, in actuality they're going to World 7, but that could also mean that it's the World 4 area. Yeah, that is a little bit confusing there, I could see. So this is Desert Land. Meanwhile, Magoo's made his way to World 3. This is an interesting situation here. Looks like we got a pipe at the beginning. Might just go ahead and play that level there, yeah. Which that means, if I'm not mistaken, this pipe won't take you to the end, it'll just take you to another pipe, and the other pipe that we haven't seen will be where the fort is, or the airship is. So So it looks like we made our way to 4, 5. Which if you have not played SMB3 before, you might notice that there are these bullets that can come back at you. I'm wondering when Mario Maker was going to implement those. Unfortunately, we never saw these, but I think it'd be pretty interesting to see those. Meanwhile, Boog's made his way to 7, 9. Looking like it's going to be able to get through that not first try, so nice. That can be a tricky setup with the Cheep Cheep. Alright, that's going to be the end. However, it looks like we need a fort or a hammer with the way this is set up. Yep. Does he have a hammer? Nope, does not. So, might be playing 1 or 2 forts here. We'll see. Of course, an additional level as well. So this is 2 to 3 levels we're about to be playing here. So Magoo's found 5-8, which I think in Randomizer is actually quite tricky with how Lakitu. Wow, that was a very nice play. That can be a very tricky level, I think, in Randomizer. With the random enemies, you have to jump in different ways than you could in speedrunning it. Meanwhile, this is World 3, Fort 1. Always door number 6. That's the door that it takes to get up to the Boom Boom fight. Doors have not been randomized yet. What do you think, chat? Should we have doors randomized at some future version? Add even more insanity? And it does look like we're going to play an extra fort because that was not the correct one, and we got World 8F. Fort 8F1, which is a little bit of a longer fort. I'll see if Magoo tries to go for the fire flower here and go through that door again. Does not. That's always going to be a fire flower just because you need to break the blocks there if you were small Mario. Yeah, this would be another fort that would be very interesting with random doors for sure. Meanwhile, I think Magoo's going to try to go for the 8-1 cycle, which is very tough in Randomizer. You're not going to get it. You just might not get it with the random enemies. You never know how the enemies are going to shape out and get in your way. Very nicely done. And it looks like Magoo's going to be on his way to World 8. Momentarily. Well, we'll see how Windy plays. We'll see how Windy plays. Meanwhile, Boog is finding the correct fort to break that lock. It's going to be out of desert land momentarily. Randomize all tiles. Yeah, I think that would be kind of interesting, wouldn't it? With the mushroom houses as well, just popping up in places. Magoo using a P-Wing here. We'll see if he tries to go for the screen transition skip. Wendy throws those 3 wings, definitely makes her the toughest of the Koopalings, and she's a multi-hitter. 4-hitter? Yep, 4-hitter. And we are on our way to World 8. So, there are 0 to 4 bridges we could see in World 8. How many bridges, Chad, do we want to guess? It's going to be in our way to Bowser. I'll say 2. However, just because I say there are bridges in the way doesn't mean that there aren't going to be more forts that are required. There could be forts in the way, or just forts that break locks that are in your way to get through. So we always keep that in mind. That first screen looks interesting. Looks like we got a lock that is in front of a hand stage. So Definitely don't want to see this fort break that lock. That fort doesn't, that means that there's only 2 other possible forts required, so that would be nice. 5F1 is definitely a tricky fort in Randomizer because the waffles are randomized. Is off-screen walk grab free with a P-Wing? Not really. You have to land it in a specific spot. It's definitely easier with a P-Wing than, say, trying to gain speed with the tail, but it does need to be within a few specific spots. So that did not break that lock, and Magoo's going to be screen transitioning through pipes. Gonna go ahead and play some forts over here. While Boog's made his way to Giant Land. So this is a 5F1, and there are 2 alternative paths. There's one where you can go down the pipe into the bottom path, and there's one that can be a little bit more trickier with the thwomp placement of the top path, and Magoo's able to nail that nicely and able to get a orb for Boom Boom. And look at that, we got 4F1 and 4F2 right next to each other. How about that? Those 2 forts seem to love to pair up together, don't they? There's certainly different strats you can take in World 8. I can see where Magoo's coming from here. You just want to go ahead and knock out a bunch of these forts, so that way your odds of not having to play anymore when you're trying to go through pipes to find Bowser's Castle is not as much. Okay, gonna be searching through some more pipes here. This is an interesting room. There could be another pipe in Dark Room, however, I'm going to guess that maybe he's going to have to play that other tank. You already saw they played a tank, which was the super tank, which was the fort tile. However, the other tank tile is a regular level, so you want to avoid it at all cost. Who's able to avoid it? So this looks like this is the way to Bowser's, yep. And we're done except for a level. What level is this? Just a beta stage, so very easy beta stage actually. You're able to run through the end, just take some jumps to avoid some enemies. Other than that, it's a pretty free level, I'd say. And Magoo's made his way to Bowser's Castle. Doesn't have a Fire Flower or a Hammer Suit though, so not able to pick up a Fire Flower from one of the item boxes here. Looks like we're gonna have to take care of King Koopa the old-fashioned way. Meanwhile, Boog's able to go through the Tanuki suit routine and summon him to fly up. So we got 2 Tanuki suits on screen right now. I think Magoo's just gonna, well no, Magoo didn't check that. I figured Magoo would probably check the item box to see that's Fire Flower, but I guess not. I'm gonna go through the ride with the Tanuki suit the entire way, I suppose. Or not. Trade the Tanuki for the tail. I'm gonna go on the bottom path. We got randomized fireballs here, so this could be a little bit tricky, and there could be a laser there, but no laser that time, so we made our way to Bowser, which, with going bottom route, there's actually one less set of bricks that are on the bottom here for when Bowser is smashing. So that's an interesting difference. You also notice that the bricks are a little bit wider here compared to top route that a lot of people are used to seeing. But Bowser still works the same way here. He's just not gonna allow Mario to stand with him underneath and not get hit at all. And get your GGs out from Magooisadorable, who is first place in our first match here. Official race time, GG time of 44 minutes and 23 seconds. So very nicely done for our first race. As a reminder, we are having 2 races here. This group stage match. We are going to start the second one immediately after the first one is. So Boog has 2 worlds left to go, and we're in World 3. And it looks like, yeah, I think this is a smart move. This is something Magoo didn't do, which is play this coin chip while we're over here, so Boog might be able to grab an extra hammer and avoid playing 3 levels here. Just a music box, so kind of unfortunate. Boog might actually have a hammer. I might not have noticed it, though. Yeah, so I think Boog sees now and he's going to need to play this level to get to the other pipe. Which is 4-5 with an angry sun. This is actually a level where you won't actually really notice the angry sun, because by the time the angry sun activates, you're pretty much at the end. Takes a really long time to wind up. Yeah. So you'd be pretty happy to see an angry sun in that level if you have to deal with an angry sun, which usually you will. It is randomizer after all. Going to go for another item here. I believe the only 2 items you can't get are clouds and hammers. Other than that, I think everything else is a go. I know you can pick up hammers, suits, flowers. Yeah, I think it's just clouds and hammers you can't pick up from there. Alright, so Boog sees the pipe to the end. We'll see if he has a hammer. If he does, then this is going to be a pretty easy world. Does not, so got 3 more levels here we're going to have to play. I don't remember exactly what level this one was. Okay, so this is 5-8. Okay, so got 5-8 and 2 fourths. Very nice power up here. I think this is going to be good. Going to be able to damage boost through Boog2 to try to get to the end. So that's the boot. In SMB3, you can't enter it. You just have to hit it from underneath to enter the boot. Unfortunately, the randomizer in a lot of situations, you're not going to have that opportunity to enter the boot from underneath. So we don't get to see the boot a lot of times in randomizer, but hopefully that will change in the future. I'd love the opportunity to see that in the future, to where you hit it from the top like in Mario Maker and you're just able to enter the boot. Meanwhile, Boog has found 3F1, going to go into door 6 in order to take care of Boom. We'll see if he picks up on the bad news that that's only going to break that lock and he's going to have to pay 8F. If he goes back and checks. Yep, looks like he picks up on that. Go into 8F. Yeah, he's going to be able to pick up a fire flower here, so that'll be nice to get through the obstacles here. We'll see if we can get a one cycle here. I think it's going to be pretty tough, just due to how this enemy placement is, but we'll see. Yeah, that's just a very bad placement where that hot shot ended up being, so unfortunate there. I try to go for the item here. Is it going to be a fire flower? Oh, no, not going for the item. Going for the next room. We're going to wait for Boom Boom. So the P switch deactivates the conveyor belt there, so I have to wait for the P switch to end. Alright, so we'll see what else is in the end card game. Again, I don't think we saw any clouds or hammers, but I'm not entirely sure. Meanwhile, Boog's going to work his way to the world's airship with Windy. Going to use a P-Wing. Yeah, I think he definitely, especially with this Windy being a 4-hitter, although Boog doesn't, but with this Windy being a 4-hitter, you definitely, in general, just want to power it up. This is a really bad level or airship for to fight Windy, unfortunately, to the World War One. And able to get through it first try. Very nicely done. Yeah, that's a very bad arena to have Windy with all those slopes there, so very nicely done. It's gonna work his way out to World 8. I mentioned a hammer earlier. Would it break a lock in a randomizer run? So in certain flag sets, hammers can break locks and hammers cannot. In the flag sets that we're playing today, hammers can break locks. So yes, that hammers could have broken that lock. Normally in SMB3, they only break rocks, so that would only be a advantage for a few levels. But in randomizer, we had that opportunity, and I think it's a really neat addition to randomizer because I think it adds for some interesting overworld strategy. Can't do anything about bridges. You're just gonna have to play a fort to get through a bridge, but that's why World 8 you just tend to have to play a lot of forts in general. But yeah, with the locks, you can break them with hammers in this flag set that we were playing with. There is one flag set in the randomizer tournament where that's in the group stage tournament where the hammers do not break the locks, and then in the bracket rounds the hammers aren't going to be able to break the locks, but here they do, so it's very neat. I like it. Meanwhile, Boog has made his way to the first fort of World 8. I actually don't know what this did. I mean, this could have just been the one bridge in World 8, so yeah, I think with the way the pipes were set up, I mean, if this was the one that built the bridge, Boog could just only have to play one level and be at the end. We shall see if it was one of the World 5 forts that Magoo had to play. Or sorry, World 4 forts that Magoo had to play there. Ooh, that's a hand trap there. Oh, this is 1-3, and this is actually a pretty interesting level in a randomizer. In the vanilla game, this gives you a warp whistle if you go through the secret exit, although it is a very long way to go to a secret exit, so we probably won't see it here. You have to duck where that white block was, and that'll take you to the secret exit with an item box that's a randomized item. That might be a play you consider like in the opening worlds, but since you're in World 8, probably just play it and move on. Yeah, so Boog has found the part 1 of the 2 pipes needed to get there. Goes to the left, we'll find the pipe, and we'll see if he's out of World 8 or not. Okay, no, so it was one of those 2 ports that Magoo played. Boog's going to check out the Air Force. The actual game, I think a lot of people consider this the toughest level to play. Just because it's a quick auto scroller. I think it definitely is tough. I still maintain that 7F2 is a much tougher fort in general, but even with the auto scroller turned off, though, it is a very tricky level. It looks easy, but it's actually not, just because the way you have to do all these tight jumps just makes this very annoying. With all the wrenches being thrown out everywhere and all the flames. And plus, with the way the Nintendo Entertainment System just loves to drop your A input, you could be jumping, but then it just doesn't recognize it, so you just end up falling off. That happens a lot. It certainly is one of the toughest levels, especially, you know, the trolley part about where this level was placed in the regular game is that this is right after your 3 hand stages. So if you die to this level and, you know, you got out of having to play a specific hand stage, you'll probably just get pulled in by another hand stage and just have to play an additional level. I think this was still... I think Boog played this very smart as far as going to try to find the Bowser's Castle first. Just unfortunate that that didn't end up being the correct fort for him, but I think that was a very smart move for him. So it's one of these 2 forts that builds the bridge, and I'll tell you right now, my guess is it's not this one, it's the other one. I'm gonna guess that 4F2 is going to be the one that builds the bridge rather than 4F1, so we'll see. And Boog's going the trickier way, but nailing it. And is going to be able to get the star boom boom kill. We'll see if he just goes ahead and plays the other fort, or if he goes ahead and checks. Oh, nope, so that did break a lock. I didn't notice that before, that actually broke that lock. So yeah, he does know that he needs to play this, so yeah. It was this fort that built the bridge, so... Yeah, that's a very tricky jump, too. I was able to nail that. So that can be certainly a very tricky jump you have to do. The hand level does give you a leaf. I definitely think that was intentional. Because all 3 of them at the end come out with the same item. That's actually... We didn't see a hand level in this first match, an actual hand level, but... In Randomizer, it does with the same logic, where all 3 of the hand levels will generate the same item. It's just randomized in rando which item that's going to be. And alright, and we got an easy beta stage to end it out, and then we'll be in Bowser's. And Boog might have a hammer suit or a flower. I'm not sure. Wasn't able to see, but... And yeah, nicely done. We're out of all the stages we need to play in World 8. We're off to Bowser. He does have a hammer suit. Look at that. So let's see if we see a hammer kill today. So there are a few clips in Bowser's Castle as well. We saw the Everyman's clip from Magoo. I'm assuming Boog's going to go for it as well. Yep. Oh, going for the 1-up. Yep, got it. There's also these clips where you might want to try them to try to skip the top and bottom room. They are kind of tough though. We're going to elect to just go through the top room. We got random lasers as you saw. Now we got random fireballs. We saw from Magoo. Let's see how the... Ooh, yeah, unfortunate fireball situation there. But not too bad. I think both top and bottom room weren't too bad from what we've seen from these random fireballs in the past. Yeah, Emerald. You'll see certain runners do Hammer Suit and certain runners do Fire Flower, one or the other. So the Hammer Suit just knocks out Bowser in like 4 hits, and the Fire Flower knocks out Bowser in 40 Fireball hits. However, the speedrun strat for the Fire Flower, you're able to really hammer those fireballs in very quickly. And get your GGs out for Boog2TheMan. Able to finish this race with an official time of 59 minutes and 53 seconds, and that is a sub hour. So 2 sub hours in this race. Very nicely done. And we're going to be starting race 2 momentarily. All right, so round 2 of our 2-game match is about to set up here just in a few seconds. And away we go for round 2. So this time compared to the last time, it's going to be the same, except we're going to see no end card game this time. Other than that, everything's going to be identical. So get your guesses out for what our first world's going to be. I'll say world 4. Away we go. It is world 5 once again. And we're starting out with the super tank. And I believe I had a brief time to check, but I think this is going to build the bridge. And it does not, it breaks a lock. So there's 3 pipes there, interestingly. So, and we look at that, we got the first tank back to back here. So this level actually acts as a regular level. It does not break a lock. However, it gives you a random item at the end. So this can be a little bit tricky. I think I've always said of World 8, I thought this was like the trickiest level of them all, just because of all these sporadic enemies flying everywhere. Luckily in Randomizer, it's not an auto-scroller, so a little bit easier in Randomizer, I'll say. But yeah, it's World 8 loves to have all the fun auto-scrollers. We're going for the mushroom house. Meanwhile, Magoo finding that the pipe actually goes to the spiral staircase, which is nice, which means we don't have to go up the spiral staircase to get up to 5. It looks like it looks like we got a hammer there. How about that? Yeah, I think Boog's gonna play the same one, so yeah, we should have 2 hammers here. Oh, unfortunate death here. But Boog's still gonna play that same one, so yeah, we're gonna have some hammers here. What's this other item? Oh, I didn't check this. I didn't get a chance to see what the other item was. I missed it. 8-2, it looks like we've got here. And Magoo's going to go through the secret shortcut. Well, I guess it's technically not a shortcut, but it's a little bit better, I should say, than I think going the normal path, unless you're doing some speedrun strats. The left side gives you an item, the right side just takes you down a pipe. Boog's gonna do the exact same. The item this time was just a star, so... Yeah, actually, I guess the frog suit with the star doesn't do the... I guess we won't find out now, but... I was gonna say, I guess the frog suit with the star doesn't do the little spin like Big Mario or Fire Mario does, where you're not able to jump up the pipe. Magoo's able to play Hammer Brothers on his way to the pyramid in the sky. Meanwhile, Boog's not far behind at all. Just gonna go through this pipe, maybe play the Hammer Brothers, and enter into the pyramid himself. Oh, the Hammer Brothers in a different spot, so... I actually didn't catch what that item was either. So I saw there was a star and a hammer on the bottom. I'm not entirely sure what that other hammer or the other item was. So in this level, you actually need to use these beetle shells to break those blocks to get through. Those enemies will never be randomized because you need them to progress in a level. So no worries about having to deal with an unfortunate enemy setup where you can't progress and get soft. Those will just always be there in Randomizer. Yeah. And Magoo has found 1-1. And it's going to be out of World 5. Oh, I'm sorry, there's another level tile there. Boog's made his way out of the pyramid level, so both of our runners getting through these last 3 levels here. Magoo's found 4-6. Normally an auto-scroller in SMB3 game, but pretty short level here. And Boog's not going to go for the Hammer Brother, so that's going to be, I guess, a little bit of saving in time there. Meanwhile, Magoo has made his way to the World 4 airship. And it's pretty nice to come in with the tail, actually, because you're able to just fly over that last platform. If you didn't have the tail, you'd have to do a pretty particular P-speed strat to get to the end of this airship. See how many hits that is. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hitter, looks like. So we're getting all the big hitters today, that's for sure. Meanwhile, I think Boog's having a little bit of trouble with this enemy setup of 1-1. 1-1 loves to have a bunch of sporadic, terrible enemy setups, I've noticed. I think that's just a troll by the randomizer to get you to feel comfortable because it's 1, but then it ends up being a horrid enemy set. Alright, so World 7 is our next world. Got some pipes going on here. Got a lot of decisions to be made, so... Okay, so we got 2 locks, which means there's 2 forts here. However, I believe both our runners have a hammer, so this might be a good time to use it rather than playing 2 different forts here. This could be a little bit more linear than it looks, though, because I see those 2 pipes go there. Yeah, so this is pretty linear so far. And yeah, I have to go this way, so... Yeah, it looked like it was kind of going to be kind of an open world, pipe world here, but... Looks like, at the end of the day, our runners are just going to have to go this way to find our way to the end. I'm going to assume this pipe over here takes us to the final island with as many pipes as were over there. Boog, nicely done, able to get past there, and is now going to make his way into Pipe World as well. Magoo has decided to play a fort, take a little bit of a gamble here. Both of the forts are right here, so I guess it's not too big of a deal if this happened to break the other lock or vice versa. Oh, we got a hammer from Peach. I didn't even notice that. So we got 2 hammers here. Actually, I would absolutely not play a fort here. I would absolutely hammer this at the end here. See if Boog decides to do this instead. The Boog finds the situation on Final Island. But that did end up being the right fort for Magoo. Alright, I'm guessing the item from that other Hammer Brother was a power-up because I didn't see that on Magoo's screen anymore, or whatever that was. Music box, I think that's something you would have wanted to have seen earlier. But... Alright, and Magoo is out of there. Meanwhile, Boog, I think Boog has just saved a huge chunk of time here by not going through as many pipes, and If he hammers here, he's going to save quite a bit of time here. The Magoo is out of there with 1040 something, and oh, well, Boog sees the situation here. I guess he's gonna go back. Gamble at the fort. Oh, well, he's gonna play the other fort, it looks like. Meanwhile, Magoo has found his way to the next world, which is World 6. Got a 7-7 to start out with, which is just a little star run we've got going here. Gonna be very easy with being Big Mario. This second star grab can be a little bit tricky, but got some protection as Big Mario if something goes wrong, and nothing's gonna go wrong. Angry Sun decided to pop up here. Not exactly a very formidable Angry Sun here, since you're invincible the entire time, but I guess the Angry Sun still tried. Looks like we got some pipes here. Let's see where they go. Ooh. Yeah, this is a hammer play here. Magoo hammers here. Well, okay, I guess not. We saw 3 locks on that screen, so if Magoo hammered there, he's out of there. I mean, probably having to play a few 2 levels, but still, we're out of there. We play that, but I guess Magoo's just gonna gamble and see if this fort breaks that lock there. Oh no, he's gonna break this instead. Oh, actually, this is probably better, actually. Yep, Magoo's absolutely right. We did not see that other pipe, so good heads-up play by Magoo. That's why our runners are running and not your commentator. Making the A+ moves here. We'll see how many hits Lemmy is today. We got 2, 3, 4 hitter. We've gotten some pretty big hitters here. Well, Boog's got to be a little careful here. He's on his last life. Don't want a game over here. Although I guess with Pipe World being how it is, still you don't want a game over 4 hitter, 5 hitter. Yeah, we've been getting all the 4 and 5 hitters early so far, so. Yeah, I think the decision time for Boog's going to be whether or not you take a game over here early or not. I probably would if I'm on 0 lives, especially at the beginning of a world. Some runners just want to get out. Meanwhile, Magoo has found his way to Desert Land. He's got a hammer here. Yep. I mean, this is a Jet World 2. We've got a Jet Sea going on so far. And we see 2-2. And yeah, Boog's taking an intentional death there. I think that's absolutely play there. Very heads-up move there. Alright, so Magoo has found his way to the end of Deserts. Gonna take a chance with some of these Hammer Brothers. We don't have the end card game times, so Hammer Brothers are going to be our only opportunity for items. This is a little bit of a tricky one because it can go through, yeah, it's unfortunate. It can go through the tile right there. Boog having a little bit of trouble with 7-7, it looks like. Gotta time, especially that second to third transition there. Gotta time that pretty good. Meanwhile, we'll see if we actually get a one-hitter for once. No, two-hitter, three-hitter. Always four hitters. That's all we're getting in this seed. And we are off into our fifth world. Let's see what world this one is. We've had World 7, World 6, World 2, World 5. I'll go with World 4. Ooh, well, unfortunately, Boog did what I was going to do. And then I would have felt really stupid because I see Atlantis right here. And this is a very unfortunate level to see here. You really hate to see this because Atlantis is one of our two auto-scrollers in the randomizer. And it is a 2-minute auto-scroller. So I think it's longer than any auto-scroller in the actual game. I could be wrong. Someone could correct me on that if I'm wrong. But yeah, this is definitely not a level you want to see at all. Meanwhile, Magoo did find World 4 is going into 3F1. Going to make an attempt for Boom Boom. Ooh, that is a very painful Atlantis death, unfortunately, for Bug. Die right there at the end. It's one of those levels like 6-6 where if you die at the end, you really hate it, or 7-5. A lot of people, 5-9 is our other auto-scroller that you'll see in Randomizer that we could still see today. I don't find 5-9 too bad, just because, I mean, that's a minute-long level auto-scroller. Of our bad levels, I would say that's very straightforward and pretty easy level. But Atlantis is probably the level you don't want to see out of all the levels. Meanwhile, Magoo is going to have a nice Jet World 4 onto the World 6 airship. See if Bug's able to get past this fish first. Yep, we're good. Getting out of here. Just avoid the hammer here. Yep. All nice. Boomerang, bro, I should say. Who is taking care of Koopling, and we are out. And yeah, that heads-up play by Magoo saved him a 2-minute auto-scroller level. I'll definitely have to compliment Magoo if I have the opportunity to for doing that, because that's a play that Boog did that I was going to do if I was in that situation, but Magoo correctly went back and saw that the pipe wasn't there and was going to decide to hammer that rock instead. That saved him a 2-minute auto-scroller. Okay, so now we see a hand stage as we enter World 3 for Magoo. This can be any item, however, this will be the same item for every stage, and that is an anchor. Someone in chat brought up earlier that the airships do not go anywhere, and that is correct for Randomizer. And in the actual game, what the anchor does is it stops the airship from moving, so you can get it in place if you die. In Randomizer, since that's not a thing, this becomes a wildcard item. And it can be any item except for a hammer. So we could see a cloud, we could see a music box, we could see a mushroom, flower, you name it. So it makes it a very interesting opportunity of when you decide to use it. Well, Boog's made his way to Desert Land. And because he did save that hammer, he's actually going to get out of Desert Land pretty easy, actually. Meanwhile, Magoo has found the beta stage of pipes. I think someone in chat, it might have been a different race, but I think we were asking where this beta stage came from. I believe it's from World 7, just based on how the pipes are. Some of these beta stages, you can tell which stage it ended up becoming. Others are kind of hard to tell. My guess would honestly be, if that's from there, that might have been like 7-2 or something, but it's hard to say. Those are stages that are actually in the game files. You just can't access them without either a game shark code or a ROM hack of sorts. So we got 2 hand levels, so that means we're getting 2 anchors in World 3. Meanwhile, Boog's taking care of Morton, and we are out of Desert Land. Magoo's going to gamble with the anchor. Maybe it's a cloud. I think that's a really wise move to try to see, since you know you're not going to go back to the left. Turns out to be a fireflower, which is pretty useful. We'll see if Magoo goes for the secret exit here, or he just tries to go to the end. The secret exit takes longer, but it is an item, so you might want to gamble for that at this stage, just because it could be a hammer, a cloud, but it is a little bit of a long gamble, so can't blame anyone for just trying to get to the end there. It looks like Magoo's gonna have to play 2 stages remaining in order to get out. And with the way this world's looking, it does look like he needs the fort, while Boog's able to pick up a hammer. Gonna need to play a fort. Yeah, I think you definitely want to just go through the coin ship and play the fort there. Meanwhile, Magoo's playing 5F1. And yeah, from time to time with those random item boxes, you'll see a 1-up instead of a mushroom or a flower or leaf or star. It does seem to be specific ones, though. I'm not exactly sure what dictates whether it's a 1-up or not, but it doesn't seem like every one of these items can be 1-ups. It just seems like it can be specific ones. You know, I think I've kind of figured it out now. It's got to be the ones that look like blocks instead of item blocks. I think that's what's causing that, now that I think about it. And well, Magoo's going to take on Wendy with a frog. We'll see if Wendy's nice today. This should be a fairly manageable arena to take out Wendy. Probably actually the best arena now that I think about it, because you got a little bit of beta there for safety if you need it. I mean, the flat one's nice too, but I think that's good for safety. And for once, we actually have a quick hitter, so a 2-hitter Wendy, and we're off to World 7. Any guesses in chat for what the 7th world is? If you're paying attention, you'd probably know what it is. Unfortunately, your faithful commentator here has been keeping up with 2 different worlds, so He has forgotten which world is remaining. It is World 1. And do we have a hammer? We do have a hammer, so we don't have to play any forts here. This is going to be a nice and quick World 1. Got 2 levels here. You know, we haven't seen 7566 or 59. Could we be seeing that soon? Not that I would commentator's curse or anything. Why would I do that? Just feels like this is too much of a Jetsy, doesn't it? Meanwhile, Boog, making both of our runners are making very great pace here, by the way. Boog's making his way to World 3. Was there a double hammer play here, or I don't think Magoo did. If Boog has 2 hammers, this might be an... Yeah, I might consider it. Well, I guess Boog doesn't, so... Because you know that fort's going to break that lock, so you know you don't have to play that fort. And while Magoo's able to... Oh, what? He chooses to go back to the fort, interestingly enough. Oh. Okay. I guess to try to save a hammer for World 8, I guess, but... I definitely would have just hammered there to, just save time, just because of the way hammers work in World 8 tend to not be so reliable. There can be seeds where hammers could make the difference, but I find those are few and far between. And clouds, too. I would definitely advise to use clouds and hammers before you enter World 8. There was a bridge you needed to make. Oh, you're absolutely right, JMH5. Absolutely right. So using the hammer ended up saving a fort, so very wise move once again by Magoo. I think Magoo has definitely played the overworld very nicely in these 2 races. And really, I think that's been the difference in this race so far, since both of our runners are somewhat close, just outside the Atlantis. Boog, I think if Boog had actually hammered that first pipe instead of hammering the lock, this would probably be neck and neck here with how long Atlantis is. So anyway, Magoo's going to go ahead and play this first fort on the first screen. I think that's a very wise move. How this fort is. We see ice forts. So we got 1 fort down, possibly 3 to go. Let's see where our first pipe goes to. It's kind of like Pipe World, where we got a maze of pipes trying to figure out where we're going. Alright, so we see 2 locks. We know that there's not more than 1 bridge remaining. Yeah, that's a tough tile set. Probably doesn't want to get pulled in by the hand there. Gonna go ahead and play this level. Is this a level? No, it's 7F2. So we'll see immediately, because of the locks in this room, whether this is required or not. Although the locks could be in front of a pipe needed to get to the end, so we never know. We have not seen Bowser yet, so anything is in play so far. Magoo taking on the first half of 7 of 2 very nicely. Definitely with the tail can make a pretty nice difference there. Able to damage boost, get his way to the end here. Meanwhile, without an angry sun, this level Boog is in just feels a little bit emptier. The 2 sand icon is what it usually looks like in vanilla. Magoo now decides to go through the hand trap, doesn't get pulled in, so going through the 2 pipes there, could this lead us to the end? It does not. And that's a 3rd lock, right? So I think we're good with bridges here. I think we just need to find the end here now. And this could be it. And it is. Oh. Well, I guess I was wrong. I guess we did see that lock. So will this build the bridge, or do we need a one last fort for hurrah? Meanwhile, Boog able to dispose of Boom Boom. Got fire, but said, hey, I can take care of Boom Boom either way. Boog's going to be making his way to Windy momentarily. And does it build a bridge? Nope, it does not. So gonna have to go back and find that last fort. Fun World 8. And there's a hand trap right there, so didn't get pulled in that time either, but we'll see. Top left there, yep, that's where our last fort is, and it's 8F1. Boog able to take care of Windy nicely. And so he's going to be off to World 1. Not as jet of a World 1 as I originally thought, because you do need to build a bridge, but still a very good setup for World 1. Coming up for meanwhile, Magoo's going to try to go for the 1 cycle. Yeah, got it. Nicely done. And just gonna go ahead and take damage there just to get a quick and easy boom boom kill. Boom boom taken care of. We'll see if get pulled into any hand traps here. If not, Magoo's gonna be out. Got pulled in. What level is this gonna be? Oh, okay. That was close. I thought Magoo was taking care out of Lakitu of his death opportunity, but able to get through no problem now. Let's have the anchor. That's the fire flower. So yeah, he's ready for Bowser. We'll see if we get our first fire/hammer kill tonight. We'll see if Magoo goes for any of the clips too. I think Magoo was just going to ride with the Tanuki suit last time. And you can't really clip the tail. That's just too much into the way to be able to clip here. Alright, and we are off to Bowser. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get a fire kill here, but nonetheless, we're going to take care of King Koopa. And doing it the shorter way with the bottom path. And get your GGs out for magooisadorable, who's going to take game 2 of our 2 games here in our Group E matchup. And that should finish out magooisadorable, who has already completed 4 other races and is finish up with a record of 2-4. So a very nice congratulations to magooisadorable. For an outstanding performance today, able to 43 minutes in the first race and 35:30 in the second race. We'll see if we can get magooisadorable into the commentary booth momentarily. Give him a congratulations. While we're waiting for Magoo, we'll turn our attention to Boog2TheMan, who has very nicely come in with the tail. Well, I guess he's gonna go through the E-suit way anyway. And yeah, you can build up speed this way, I guess, so yeah, this works too. I guess if you're used to going with the Tanuki suit, this is a nice alternative to go as well. And nicely done, Boog's going to be out of this. It's got a Hammer Brother to play there at the end, but after that, nothing too bad. So on to the World 7 airship for Boog. Gonna feel pretty nice to have a tail in this one with all the different pits you can fall into. I believe this wasn't too bad of a hitter, if I'm not mistaken. Very nice. So now we're off to World 8 for Boog. We'll see how he approaches this one. This World 8 was kind of an interesting World 8 for runners to have to deal with. Fortunately for Magoo, he had to play all 4 of the forts in World 8, and that could be the case here for Boog too, but I think Boog might be able to get away with just playing 2 here. Just able to guess the right ones. And this World 8 does have a lot of hand traps here. Boog might just be wanting to save the mushrooms, so that might be why he's playing this level. This level in general is kind of a annoying level to deal with, I feel like. So Boog doesn't get trolled by this fan. Okay, good. I hate that fan so much. Well, at this point for Boog too, I mean, 2 lives too, so yeah, I could see where he's from here too. Gotta make sure you have plenty of lives in World 8. Well, no, elect not to play that fort. I think that's going to be wise because he actually didn't need the fort. Oh, that fort breaks that law. Interesting. So technically, you do need that fort. The first fort breaks the lock of the fort you need to play. And we are joined right now by magooisadorable. GG on your 2 wins. Anyway, Magoo, are you there? Guess we're having a little bit of difficulty, so technical difficulty up. But anyways, meanwhile, Boog is going to play the first fort. Magoo, are you there? Sometimes Discord can be weird, I guess. Boog is playing one of the 2 forts that's actually required. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this fort. Magoo got everything straightened out, or? Well, actually, no, I guess it wasn't that first one. I guess it was, yeah, I guess it was 7F2 that ended up breaking that lock, I see. That makes sense. Shows how much I was paying attention to that. Doesn't have a hammer, so just gonna have to go into 7F2 and play this.
Okay, I think I got it now.
Oh, hello, Magoo. Welcome, welcome.
How's it going?
Hey, great. GG on your 2 races today. 2 very nice wins. Got any opening thoughts on how they went?
Well, the first one, I was just kind of like, I don't know, a pile of nerves, and there was a lot of weird stuff that happened. I found that, like, I was trying to use a hammer, like my hammers and clouds efficiently, and I eventually, like, I got all the way to the end of a stage that I realized I should have clouded it because I died. So then I just clouded it anyway, but I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta compliment you on your second match on your hammer play, because I know you definitely don't know this. In World 6, I made a comment of you not breaking a hammer with a lock, and I was saying, I probably would have done that there. But you made the 160 play of going back, breaking the rock to the other pipe that led to the... And that level you ended up skipping was Atlantis.
Oh my goodness, wow.
And,
I mean, I felt good about the play at the time because it was a matter of, you know, playing one level rather than breaking a lock.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I was kind of like trying to save a hammer, I believe, at that point, but I don't really remember. These all kind of run together.
Yeah, I have the same issue too, especially when you play 2 seats back to back. It's kind of tough to remember some specifics of what all happened there, but I remembered that for sure because Boog had to go through Atlantis after using the hammer there, so I remembered that and was thinking, oh, Guess you're actually right. You made the great play of remembering that the other pipe must have went to the other side since you didn't see it there. So very nicely done there. And really a really nice second seed for you, since this felt a little bit more of a jet than the first one, huh?
For sure. Like, the first seed had its jet moments, but it was like, there were certain things where you just kind of had to go all the way around. But yeah, the second seed worked out a lot better for me. Yeah, and also, like, we're talking about that pipe in 6. I remember it now, where the fact that I couldn't see the other pipe meant that it had to be further progression into the level. Whether there's a lock past that or not, that was my thinking there.
Yeah, absolutely. That was just a great play there. World 1, I noticed, I didn't even notice this at first, you might not have either, but I only saw a lock at first in World 1 and thought you were good to go once you used the hammer, but there was a bridge there, you had to play that extra fort there, so my apologies there for missing that out as well.
Oh yeah, I always do the quick scan, you know, like how many bridges, how many locks, whatever. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, okay, well, we're gonna have to do this way, and we just hope that it's the first fort and not the second fort. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it ended up being the first fort, and then I was able to use the hammer, and then just dump out the rest of my items there. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That worked out really nice. And unfortunately, I don't think either World 8 was really great. I think you had to play. I know you had to play all 4 in the second one. I think you had to play 3 or 4 in the first. Fortunate World 8s we got here in this seed.
Yeah, there was 8 was not easy, and that last one I was gonna have to maybe go back and go around level 2 to get to like the last fort there. If what I had didn't break the lock, but fortunately it did. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So you finished up with a record of 2 and 4. Very nicely done to pick up 2 wins here. What did you think overall of your SMB3 group stage tournament experience?
I mean, this is my 3rd year doing it, and I thought it went pretty well. This is a pretty hard group, with Midi and Paradox at the top of it. Like, those guys are really, really good. And I was like, well, maybe we'll pick one off of one of them, but it didn't happen. So I'm not discouraged. Had a good time. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Those 2 runners for sure playing at the top of the top when it comes to SMB3 Randomizer for sure. They're very tough. Definitely have had to play and lose to them plenty of times myself.
Yeah, Pear was actually won my group stage last year too. So, like, faced him before. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I guess it was the 7F2 that ended up building the bridge. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Or was it? No, it wasn't 7F2. It was 7F2 that the lock to get to the other forts that ended up building the bridge. That's what this World 8 was. Confused.
Yeah, it was all kind of a mess.
Yeah. I guess a hammer would have felt nice to have skipped 7F2, but yeah. It's not like it really would have done much in the grand scheme of things, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you can skip 7-2 instead of 7F2, it's nice, but like, if you really want to be competitive in this, you have to just learn that stage, because you're going to face it more often than not, and just learn how to get through it safely, and you'll be okay, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I always like to say SMB3 Randomizer really kind of forces you to learn the 100% speedrun of this game, if you will. You really got to learn every level if you want to be super successful in this, even the super hard stages. We didn't see 7.5 or 6.6 today, I don't believe, so I guess we didn't have to see those levels today, but yeah, that other than that, it's always good seeds, I guess, when you don't see those 2.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, You never want to see 7F5 ever. Especially not with Boss Bass or something.
No, absolutely not. I'm sure you've seen the Angry Sun there before. That always annoys me too. Yeah, the 6-6 with the swinning. Actually, I do want to ask your question on this real quickly. Do you hate 7-5 more or 6-6? I tend to lean on 6-6 just because of all the water enemy spam, but I can see where someone would say 7-5.
I'm a little more confident in my water play than I am my getting around. Like 7-5 just has those tight corridors, and if there's a sun in there or if there's a boss bass, you're just in a world of pain. And there's really not a lot of quick power-ups you can get either. So you kind of have to go in with what you got. So I definitely hate that one more.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, feel free to stay and chat, but I won't take any more of your time if you have to go someplace. But it's been a pleasure to watch and commentate your 2 races today. And
yeah, thanks for doing that. Thank you. Thank everybody with SpeedGaming. I mean, I'll just kind of I'll just turn it on Twitch and watch the rest of Boog's run here then.
Yeah, sounds great. Should be finished up here momentarily. Only got 2 levels here left, so, or 3, I guess, with Bowser. So. I did notice this had a lot of hand level grabby stages here. He kind of got pulled in a few times too, unfortunately, but I guess that's the way that it rolls around here.
Yeah, so it's why it's kind of nice to have like a little extra stock of lives just so you can burn those out. Just because you're hopefully not going to catch that like 5 times in a row. I mean, I've seen it happen, but the odds are against that happening. So
I could tell you in my second match yesterday, my race, I had a hand stage that was Atlantis, and I kept getting pulled in like 4 times. So it was definitely nice to have a stock of lives.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah. I had all the fun World 8s yesterday too, so it's definitely not just you getting all the fun World 8s here. Playing all the multiple levels.
Yeah, I watched a bit of your matches yesterday after no, I'm sorry, that was on Thursday. Never mind.
Yeah, I actually went 3 days in a row, so guess I just decided to do them all at once. We used the Nimbus cloud to skip. I guess that probably wouldn't work here. So any of the I don't even know what you'd call them, ship tiles or whatever. You can't use clouds or anything to skip them. You just gotta play them. And if you do, defeat a fort or one of these tiles, you don't have to play it again. So that is the nice thing. Once you're able to get through it. I did take a game over, but game over doesn't really mean much here. All right, I think Boog has a forfeited from this match, so that will be the end of our race today. We'll see if he can join us in the commentary booth as well. Everyone get your GGs out for Boog, and for both of these races as well. Still got 2 races remaining against Paradox to be upcoming. I know Boog is a first-time racer, so definitely 2 good performances here today for one who really hasn't done a lot of the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer. And we are joined today by Boog2TheMan. GG on both of your races. You got any opening thoughts on both seeds?
Well, first seed wasn't too bad. I thought I was gonna get a lot more terrible levels. And then that one, I think it was just this one, because I can't remember because of that last fortress. There was like 2 hammers that I had, didn't realize that in World 2. And then I came back and used those hammers respectively. But not any terrible levels that I was expecting way worse levels, but I'm glad I didn't get any of those terrible levels that I was not expecting.
Yeah, we were just discussing with Magoo that we didn't see 7-5, 6-6, or even 5-3. We got some pretty easy levels this seed. Unfortunately, in World 6, you had to go through Atlantis there. On Magoo's side, he was actually able to hammer a rock that went to that pipe that skipped that, whereas you did probably what I was going to do, since I said I was going to do that when I saw Magoo make that play, which was hammer that lock, which forced you to have to play that Atlantis, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing that's happened. I didn't like that stage, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, so.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe your first race, you was that the best time for you?
I don't know. Maybe it's probably been my best time in the tournament, probably in this whole tournament, but not my best time of all time with randos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew you were definitely new to this, and you've done a very excellent job throughout this tournament. As someone who really hasn't seen much of the challenges Randomizer can throw your way.
Yeah, like I said, this has probably been probably out of all the seeds I've done, these 2 have been like the best seeds ever. And like I said, except that last fortress when I didn't have any power ups to go through that whole level. It's just my biggest ones was that fire on that one pipe, and then trying to get past the thwomp when the other flower came out of the pipe. So those are my 2 hardest ones, and I kept dying to them, and I was just getting too frustrated, and I was like, I just can't do it anymore. I'm sure that was the one. I'm sure that was the one just to get right to the end, but I couldn't handle it anymore. So.
Well, if it makes you feel any better.
It actually wasn't. Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
that would have
wasn't.
been. Oh, that would have been worse for me. I probably would have been like, oh man.
Although it technically was, because you had to make that fort to break the lock to get to the other fort, so you technically did have to play it. But yeah, you did have another fort remaining after that.
Yeah, congratulations, Boog. Like, for a new player coming in, like you did great, man. And we're always looking for new players. Like, don't feel discouraged.
I mean, pretty much, yeah. I basically Animus is the one who basically got me into doing this. So, best guy probably to learn from him and other good runners in this tournament. But yeah, no, I wanted to do it basically just for fun. I don't expect to pretty much be the best of best. I'm just here to have fun with the races. So whether I win or lose, it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good way to look at it, because there are like 25 people in this that are better than me, probably. And it's humbling. So it's just, it's better not to worry about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've always maintained that attitude too. I think I started this about a year ago, and the first times I remember my first race, I got 3.5 hours, probably a randomizer record for longest time taken in a seed, and kept getting over 1 hour throughout like the next month. So when you finally got that sub hour, I was just like, yeah, this is awesome. Just kept enjoying it, having fun. Didn't really care that I was getting blown out or anything. So yeah, you just learn things one step at a time, and you can really catch up some things and be competitive going forward. So I'm glad that you're taking that approach as well. You, like I said before, you've definitely in a shorter period of time done better than I was starting out. So
Yeah, I remember you've been telling me that, and that's kind of, to me, that kind of feels like some like more motivation to do more of these races. So it's like, it's good to see that I'm improving on them. Like I did get sub hour. I think it was like last week I got sub hour in one of the seeds. So I want to do more of these in the future. So because these are actually really interesting and fun. So
yeah, absolutely. So anyways, I guess I'll wrap things up here. Does any of y'all have any closing thoughts?
no, I don't have anything.
Oh, were there any boss bass kills today?
Yes.
Oh no! I was hoping he went hungry.
One of the levels I hold right, and it was right there. So I was like, oh boy, and I was even laughing at that death to myself. So
he almost got me a couple times, but I was hoping that he went hungry. But next time.
Next time. There was another level that I do remember that he was at the beginning, and I thankfully jumped out of his way, so he didn't get me the second time. But
well, very good. I will let me see if there's anything coming up here as far as speed gaming goes. Looks like nothing immediately coming up after this. As far as the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer tournament goes, we've got some matches tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 2 p.m. Eastern Time on various speed gaming channels. You can check those out. We are wrapping up group stage play this next week, and the brackets will be starting next month. So this tournament has still a long ways, but a fun ways to go. It's always nice to see. I always just enjoy watching all these matches just anyway, so if you have time tomorrow, definitely check those out. And without further ado, from Boog2TheMan, magooisadorable, I'm Animus United, signing off the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Tournament.